Hi guys, welcome back to another reaction video. Today we'll be checking out why UK wants Indians out. This is a documentary. If you're curious as I am, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for supporting this channel. Without further ado, guys, let's dive right into this.
When the UK government announced its new visa rules, few realized how deeply they would strike Indian families.
A UK-wide deportation blitz is underway. The government is cracking down on illegal immigrants. There are widespread raids and arrests at warehouses, car washes, vape shops and restaurants, including an Indian restaurant.
Overnight, nearly 120,000 Indian students discovered they could no longer bring their spouses or children with them. Skilled workers, doctors, nurses, and IT experts who had built their lives in Britain suddenly faced uncertainty about whether they could stay.
Very, very
Why are
testing
they being
times.
chased all over the world?
And people have said,
Canada,
I
Australia,
definitely want you
UK,
here.
why?
Very scared, man. An innocent girl going about her daily business gets this sort of treatment for what? It doesn't make sense. Is it because of immigration protests?
Politicians defended the move as a way to control migration. But for Indians, it felt like the door to opportunity was being slammed shut. Across the world, a perception is taking hold. Indians are everywhere. From North America to Europe to Australia, Indian communities are more visible than ever, reshaping suburbs, filling universities, and powering hospitals and tech companies. At the same time, India has become the world's fourth largest economy, raising a sharp question in the West. If India is rising, why are so many Indians still here? Canada is experiencing similar unease. In 2024, the unveiling of a 50-foot Hindu deity statue near Toronto's airport was celebrated by the Indian community as a proud marker of belonging. But many Canadians saw it differently. Online forums filled with comments calling it a cultural takeover. A year earlier, Brampton's 55-foot Hanuman statue had sparked the same backlash. For critics, these towering monuments symbolize not just faith, but an irreversible demographic shift that left longtime residents wondering if multiculturalism had turned into replacement.
So this is Toronto. There's your giant Hanuman monkey statue.
Australia shows this tension clearly. The India-born population has doubled in a decade, now over 900,000. Indians dominate student enrollments and hold crucial jobs in healthcare and IT. Yet protests in August 2025 saw thousands march through Sydney and Melbourne with signs like "Indians out," blaming them for high rents, crowded trains, and rapid demographic change.
We have to stop immigration and become a nation once again.
Flyers claim there were more Indians in 5 years than Greeks and Italians in a century, turning ordinary families into scapegoats. Today in this video, we'll uncover the real reasons why the UK wants Indians out. But before moving on, please share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Your support means the world to us. One of the strongest arguments made by British politicians is about visa overstays.
Today we publish a white paper on immigration. Net migration quadrupled until in 2023 it reached nearly 1 million. That's about the population of Birmingham.
In 2018, the UK government claimed that almost 1 in 5 Indian visitors did not leave on time, making Indians one of the largest groups of overstayers. This argument is powerful because it appeals to a sense of fairness. If the rules say a person must leave after their visa ends, then staying longer is seen as cheating the system. By portraying Indians as rule breakers, the government gains public support for stricter action. However, the full picture is more complex. A later Home Office report in 2020 showed that over 97% of Indian students now leave before their visas expire, proving that the earlier numbers were exaggerated. Still, once the idea takes root in public debate, it is difficult to challenge. For ordinary Indians, this means they are treated with suspicion, even when they follow every rule. Families who paid full tuition, complied with immigration laws, and returned on time still face the consequences of this negative image. For ordinary British citizens, these concerns feel valid. When people overstay, it increases pressure on housing, jobs, and public services. That is why the UK views tougher immigration controls not as unfairly targeting one community, but as protecting fairness and ensuring the rules apply equally to everyone. The real turning point came with Brexit. The 2016 vote to leave the European Union was built on a single promise. Britain would take back control of its borders.
We've done a lot of work stopping them coming. We just signed an agreement to return them, and we've returned 35,000, in fact, under the first year of this Labour government, of people who shouldn't be in this country. So,
immigration became the defining political issue. After Brexit, leaders needed to prove that they could deliver lower numbers. Indians, as the largest group of students and a major share of work visa holders, became an easy target. In 2022 alone, net migration to the UK hit a record 745,000 people. Much of the rise came from outside Europe, India included. Cutting down Indian visas provides quick numbers that governments can show to voters. Every new rejection or restriction becomes evidence of control. But this also means Indians are being used as a political tool. Their presence is no longer about skills or education. It is about how many votes can be won by appearing tough.
Yeah, these government policies are very unwelcoming and they can deter a lot of people from coming here. And a lot of my friends and relatives back in India also mentioned that you probably should go to the States or Australia instead of going to the UK because it's very difficult finding a job here.
For Indians, their future is now tied not to their contributions, but to the mood of British politics. For the UK, this creates a dangerous cycle where immigration policy is shaped by election campaigns rather than long-term needs. Another reason often given for pushing Indians out is the strain on public services. Britain is facing a housing shortage of 4.3 million homes, NHS waiting lists have climbed to 7.6 million patients, and transport systems are overcrowded. Instead of addressing underfunding, politicians frequently blame immigrants. Indians, being the largest group, are naturally pulled into this debate. Students are also caught in this storm. Many Indian students see UK education not only as a degree, but also as a path to long-term settlement. They bring dependents, work part-time, and later apply for skilled visas. But in 2023, the government banned most international students from bringing spouses and children.
For a year, so I can understand if your family is not there with you and you can live for a time being without your family. If it is not allowed, so the UK will not be the choice for me. I'll definitely try for the Canada and some other countries.
Indians are the most affected because they account for over 40% of all international student dependents. Universities now face billions in potential losses, since Indian students contributed an estimated £4.3 billion to the UK economy in 2022. Families are split apart, universities lose money, and communities lose talent.
Wow.
Another strong talking point in the UK is that Indian workers undercut local wages. The argument goes that Indian doctors, nurses, and IT professionals accept lower salaries, driving down pay for British workers. While this narrative is politically effective, studies show the opposite. Indian professionals are often highly paid and fill gaps in sectors where locals are in short supply. The NHS, for example, has around 11,000 Indian doctors and 25,000 Indian nurses. Without them, patient waiting times would stretch even further. At the same time, immigration has become a bargaining chip in trade talks. Britain and India are negotiating a free trade agreement worth up to £28 billion.
Today signed the long-awaited trade deal between the two countries. The UK hopes it will lead to £6 billion worth of investment.
The UK wants better access for its companies in India, while India wants more flexible visas for its citizens. By keeping rules strict, Britain strengthens its hand, but this also turns immigration into a negotiation tool. Ordinary Indians, students, families, and workers become pawns in a much larger political and economic game. Beyond economics, there is also a cultural story. Since Brexit, there has been a sharp rise in nationalist and populist rhetoric in the UK.
Why is it important for you to be here today?
For freedom of speech, to stop, hopefully stop the illegal immigration from coming to our shores, to help the homeless, the disabled, the working class.
Leaders speak about protecting British identity, controlling borders, and prioritizing local workers. Slogans like "Take back control" and "Put Britain first" resonate with many voters. Indians, as the largest migrant group, become the easiest focus of this nationalist message. Yet this ignores reality. Indians have been part of Britain for generations. They have built businesses, enriched food culture, celebrated festivals like Diwali across cities, and powered industries from healthcare to finance. The Indian diaspora contributes over £3 billion annually in taxes. But the nationalist narrative reduces this contribution to a number on a migration chart. For Indians, it means living in a country where they are valued for their work, but questioned for their presence. For Brits, it creates a divided society where diversity is seen as a threat rather than a strength. The consequences of these policies are felt most by ordinary people. For Indians, the impact is personal and painful. Students who spend £20,000 to £30,000 a year on tuition find fewer opportunities after graduation. Workers who have served for a decade suddenly face rejection notices. Families are split by dependent visa bans. Many experience financial losses, emotional stress, and broken dreams. For British people, the effects are also severe. The NHS loses staff, worsening a crisis where 1 in 7 hospital posts is already vacant. Universities lose billions in tuition income, forcing cuts that may raise costs for local students. Businesses struggle to hire skilled professionals, slowing innovation. Communities lose cultural vibrancy as fewer Indians open shops, restaurants, or community centers.
Indian cuisine has long been woven into daily life in Britain. From samosas to masala dosa to onion bhaji, these dishes arrived with Indian immigrants generations ago.
In short, Indians lose opportunity while Britain loses talent. The UK's push to reduce Indian migration is driven by politics, trade leverage, and nationalist rhetoric. But the real-world effects go far beyond headlines. Indians who have given so much to Britain now face uncertainty, exclusion, and lost futures. Meanwhile, British citizens face weaker healthcare, struggling universities, and fewer skilled professionals. At a global level, the UK risks losing to countries like Canada, Germany, and Australia, which actively welcome skilled Indians. The big question is whether Britain is truly protecting itself or cutting off the very lifeline that fuels its economy, healthcare, and culture. In the end, pushing Indians out may win short-term political points, but it could cost the UK its future. If you found this video interesting, please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching.
Oh, what a wonderful documentary. I don't know why every other country seems to be, it's not just the UK, Australia, Canada, people are complaining, Indian immigrants everywhere. What is going on? Do you think it is okay to send them away? Why is it like for them to study in those countries but never return to their country? That's the big problem here. And the fact that every country they go, they build a statue and they are celebrating and they are doing stuffs and they are occupying everywhere. I don't really blame these countries, but why? All these countries are getting rid of them. Why? I don't know, but something is going on somewhere. And to me, this is a wake-up call for the Indian authority, for the Indian government to, to build their resources, to build their educational sector, their health sector, and, use their, their human resources to, to build their own country instead of facing this kind of embarrassment from all over the world. This is insane. I'm not saying there are other, there are people from all over the world. There are other migrants, but when it comes to India, it just seems to be more of like it's everywhere. Every country wants them out. And honestly, these countries, these people are getting angry because they seem to have dominated even those who are, who are citizens of those countries, and I see where the agitation to want them out is coming from. You guys share your thoughts in the comment section, because this is now beginning to look like a global outrage. You guys, it was good to have watched this, and I do hope that something is done earnestly soon. Thank you so much. If you're new here, do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for supporting this channel. Don't go nowhere. I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe and bye-bye.